Hello, YouTube audience. I'm Circle Master. I forgot to hit start on the recording when I started the stream. I'm sorry. We're back, though. Enjoy the Beethoven. I'm glad you asked that, Beans, because now I can tell you how awful my estimates are. But you are guaranteed to get 46 XP per encounter on this screen. You will always fight 2 enemies. They are each worth 23 XP. On the previous screen, you always fight 1 enemy that's worth 23 XP. On a future screen, you can fight 1 or 2 enemies, and also they're more annoying because they inflict dark, which makes your melee attacks miss most of the time, so it's kind of tedious. And if you can imagine me doing this saying something else is tedious, then yeah. Anyway, it will take a little over 6.6 million XP in total, total XP, to get Tails here to level 99. So eventually he will get there. It never curves off such that enemies stop giving XP. Enemies give fixed XP. Estimates on how long that will take, like, I can tell you the number of battles, but how long those battles take aggregated over so many hours means that, like, a few seconds of variation can compound hugely. Early back of the envelope paper napkin estimates were about 2,500 hours. Different samples of time, like of actual progress, where I say, okay, it's an hour. How many fights am I doing? How much XP am I getting in this particular hour? Have put it in a range of 1,900 to 2,100 hours. So yeah, there's a lot of variability there because it's being compounded out or extrapolated out so long. Because it takes so many battles. It will take... I forget what the total number of fights is. But back when I was counting individual fights, it was like over 140,000 fights to get to level 99. As you can imagine, over time, with the little attention that I give the actual gameplay, I miss the counter on fights sometimes. So, like, I'll do a fight and I won't put it on the counter, so it won't track, and then my count gets off, and then I have to go in and correct the count. And so I just stopped having the counter altogether. Zidane does not have an AoE move. He does not have moves. He can fight, and he can steal, which is pointless, because enemies drop items already, and there's nothing useful that I can steal from them that they don't drop. And Trance just makes his attacks slightly more powerful, while also wasting at least 10 seconds every time it triggers. Hey, K-Squared. As far as Rubber Band and Turbo Button controller go, the whole point of this, if there is one, is that I'm doing this on original hardware without turbos, without cheats, because, like, you can boot up the PC version of this, SQ Pat, how's it going? Been quite a while. Um, yeah, you can boot up the PC version of this, and you can like turn on ×2 speed. You can have whatever auto things you want. You can macro it. I think there's even like an F button you can hit that will just give you XP in the PC version. That actually did happen, Pat. My original PlayStation did die. I forget how long ago it was. I think it was like a year ago. And I couldn't find a replacement for any reasonable price. So what I did get was a PS2 Slim. So I'm now running this on a PS2 Slim with a DualShock 2 controller, which does not have turbo still, but I figure, you know, it's still the original disc. It's not even a greatest hits version. I bought this game for some reason when it was new and then never ever played it. So yeah, like it's not just a matter of doing it at all, because anybody on a modern version can do it at all trivially. It's doing it in the original. You know, it's kind of like the difference between what I did in Final Fantasy VII and what I did in Dark Souls. Because Final Fantasy VII, I grinded it out 4 years, hundreds of hours, legit original hardware, original console, original game disc. Dark Souls, I opened up Dark Souls Remastered. I spent some amount of time killing the Asylum Demon, getting to Undeadburg and Firelink. Found a soul, got the Undead Merchant, bought some arrows, and did soul dupes. And got to soul level 121, I think, by the end of the first stream. And it was the first time that I played Dark Souls, basically, but also pretty trivial because all I did was exploit a glitch. I saw a video actually, somebody did the math on how long it would take you to get to they didn't do net level 99 because it was Dark Souls. They did max soul level, which is all stats at 99. And like without cheating in the starting areas, just killing the enemies around you and then resting at the bonfire to make them respawn over and over again. And it was like hundreds of years. It was like Dark Souls 1 was like the fastest, I think, and then Dark Souls 2, and then Dark Souls 3 was the longest, and it was like 128 years or something. And yeah, I'm not gonna live that long. I'd like to. Hashtag transhumanism. Hashtag death is optional. I don't know. Like, we can get into a discussion about anti-aging and the quote-unquote meaningfulness of death. But, I can't rely on that. And I'm not going to spend that time getting to max soul level in Dark Souls 3. I've got enough on my plate. I gotta do Final Fantasy IX. I gotta do 650 more Super Nintendo games. I've also got to make a Let's Play that I really want to make when the time comes for that. So that'll be another year at least before I can get started, probably. Because I'm waiting for DLC to release for a game that whose DLC has been said to exist but not officially announced yet. Well, yeah, K Squared, I'm on game 50 something, which is Lufia and the Fortress of Doom. It's not good, but that's what I rolled, and now I'm stuck playing it. Let me see. That is game 55 out of a massive list that I have not been updating. Like, I have a bang command for my Super Nintendo games list. I haven't actually updated my Super Nintendo games list in a while, so it's probably not accurate. No, I'm not getting to level 99 in Lufia and the Fortress of Doom. I'm just playing Lufia and the Fortress of Doom to beat it. No, there's not an order to the Super Nintendo games. I have a wheel set up. In fact, I wonder if I can. Oh, I'd have to change the screen, wouldn't I? Yeah. Well, maybe I can just add it. No, I don't want to bother with that. Yeah, I have a custom wheel set up on pickerwheel.com that when I need to do a new game, I'll get on stream on camera and spin the wheel, and whatever game I land on is what I have to play next, and I wish that I wasn't doing that. K-Squared, I will probably not beat the game with Zidane. I did not even beat the game with, you know, Cloud and Barrett at level 99, which means I still have never played Final Fantasy VII to completion. I played a good portion of Disc 1 back in the day and set it aside because I didn't really care for it. I grew up with Final Fantasy 1 on the NES, and then 2 and 3 in big ol' air quotes on the Super Nintendo, you know, actually 4 and 6. And I love Final Fantasy VI. That's a great game. And going from that to Final Fantasy VII was jarring. What are my thoughts on Strangers in Paradise? I haven't played it yet. I hear it's not what I wanted it to be. What I wanted it to be was like super goofball. And instead it's goofball, but it's Neo, is what I'm hearing. That it's very much an action RPG rather than an RPG. And, like, I had enough trouble beating Dark Souls at a stupidly high level because I exploited a glitch to get massive numbers of souls. I'm having a hell of a time with Elden Ring. My god. Elden Ring is kicking my butt. And unfortunately, it kicks my internet's butt. Like, I have a clip of Elden Ring on my channel. And it's a great clip. I highly recommend it if you want to see me get my comeuppance. But, ooh, that bitrate. My internet can't handle streaming an actually decent game. Or I should say an actually modern game. I don't know how many hours I'm on. Not that many. Simply because I work. But like I've done a lot of Limgrave. I'm in the high 30s in level, I think. I've beaten Margit the Fell Omen. I have not even gotten to Godfrey yet. Stormvale Castle is huge. And I'm like only 1 or 2 sites of grace past Margit. I've done a lot of the dungeons that I've found. Well, I've done all the dungeons I've found. I feel like I've found a lot of dungeons. I've done every of the Evergoals that I found. Crucible Knight was a pain, and you can see that in that clip that I just referenced a few minutes ago. The other 2, not so much. I've only found the other 2, the one on the Weeping Peninsula, and then the other one in Limgrave. Yeah, that's another issue, Book Thief, is Elden Ring demands your attention. And focus. And my brain, works so good. You wouldn't think that from how I've been doing in trivia, but honestly, my brain, works so good. Ask me about modern movies, I don't know shit. Because I can't watch modern movies. I can't watch movies anymore, really. I have to be very selective about what I commit 3 hours of light into my eyeballs. So, like, I've seen Dune, because that director is amazing, and I'm going to see all of the movies that he makes. And I think before that, the last movie I saw was Avengers Infinity War. Like, not even Endgame. Just because sitting in a theater for hours while a giant screen projects light at me sucks. Whereas at home, you can't see it because the capture device just gives you the footage. But my TV that the game is on is almost completely black. Like, I can see Zidane's little blonde haircut, and I can see the bright area to the top of the screen where I know if I go there I'm going to transition. So I just run circles below the bright area using the splash of blonde hair as the visual cue. And that's how I play this game. And it's the same with my computer monitor. I've got it set to be very dim, so it's bearable for me to look at. I should probably mention, for any of you who are still watching, who came here thanks to Jay, I get terrible chronic migraines, which is to say I'm always in pain. Literally 100% of the time I'm in pain. And as a result, or relatedly, I have photophobia, where I'm incredibly sensitive to light. And it makes the migraines worse. Hence the brightness issues. You know, with the screens and all. It's also why I have trouble with these sentences. Because I have a lot of problems with word finding and memory, where, like, I've had times where I think I did it earlier tonight, I just start a sentence and my brain hits eject on it and it's gone, and I don't even know what I was saying anymore. And that started with the migraines. But boy, I used to be wicked smart before that. I used to be real smart, and what I used to know has stuck in, which is why I can do trivia. Um, but, like, processing information is a problem. That's why I don't remember what it was. Was it yesterday with Tringo? I'm trying to remember. I can't remember anymore. But it was some trivia game from Jay, and Jay put up some question that my brain could not figure out what the question was. And I said as much that I couldn't parse it. Naturally, I got that one wrong. I didn't even submit anything. So yeah, I don't have issues. I have the whole subscription. Yeah. So yeah, health issues are abundant. We got our nice music going. Music, for some reason, or like sound, doesn't bother me nearly as bad in terms of the pain, the way light does. But I got my dark screens, I got dark lighting in my room, and I can just relax and go and ramble about whatever. And that's what this stream is. My rambling is more focused when I do Super Nintendo games, although that tends to devolve into complaining about the bad design elements of the game that I'm playing, because, you know, it was the 16-bit era, and there was, like, Super Nintendo was remembered fondly as this console with a bunch of great games, but really it has some great games and then a lot of chaff. There's a lot of games that are not remembered because they're not worth remembering. And I'm sure it's the same for the PlayStation 2, which is another console that has a reputation of having a strong library. It probably just has a huge library and the same proportion of good games to awful games as anything else. I don't know what's going on with my activity feed, but things keep moving and it's throwing me off. I don't get it. I bet I know what it is, but it's... Sorry, this was a tangent. It's just for my personal thing. So yeah, that's part of why I don't run a face cam, is because if I had a face cam, I would need a key light so that it was, like, lit properly so you could actually see me. And that would just be shining a light in my face. At which point I would probably need to put on sunglasses. At which point it's like half of the purpose of the face cam is gone because I'm now covering my face up. The other reason I don't run a face cam is because nobody wants to look at me. Why would they? Hey, Manadono. If I'm pronouncing that correctly. I apologize if I'm not. Yeah, if I pronounce your name wrong, just let me know. I will endeavor to correct myself. Level something in the pregame. Like... When do you get control of Garnet? I'm trying to remember if I ever had control of Garnet. Or do you just mean early game? I don't know anything about the summons, I'm sorry. I haven't actually played Final Fantasy IX before. Hey, Komodo Dino. We are at level 60. And a long way away from level 61, like 51,000 XP. I don't know what that means, man. I don't know. But yeah, there you go. We're 51,000 XP plus away from a level. I get 46 XP per fight. 1,000 fights gets me 46,000 XP, so we're over 1,000 fights away from a level up. Even if I could get 100 fights an hour, which I can't. That'd be 10 hours to get a level. I wish it was only 10 hours to get a level. Oh, thank you very much, Manadono. I appreciate the bits. Go get some sleep. It's 4 a.m. where you are. You should have been asleep at least 20 minutes ago. Or maybe 20 minutes from now for the 420 meme. One of the two. What is with the 4 a.m. club? Where is it that it's 4 a.m.? I don't even know. What time is it now? Oh, UK. Wow, the UK, it's 4 a.m. That's... Oh. I will assume that it's... Yeah, I don't even know. Hey, you Nightmare. Yes. I forget who, but somebody asked me to stream and record these again, so I'm recording them again. Yeah, Bug Thief, I just can't do math right now. Especially time zone math. Time zone math is bad in the best of times, and it is not the best of times right now. This is why we need to write to Congress and petition for them to abolish time. Demand to live every moment at once, eternally. Then we will all be level 99 in the evil forest, even as we are all working toward it and looking back on it. Wouldn't it be the 99-tailed Zidane? Because he's got a tail. Hence the name Tails. It's the only name I could think of for a custom name in that moment. Because I don't plan these things ahead. What is my phone downloading? You stupid... Oh, you're not actually downloading anything. And now you say that you're... What is my phone doing? I'm probably getting hacked, it's no worries. If somebody hacks my phone, they'll be able to use the microphone to hear what I'm saying. Whatever will I do if people hear what I say right now? But will it be a surprise? Well, it'll be a surprise if it's Final Fantasy VIII, because I'm pretty sure I'm playing Final Fantasy IX right now. But then again, we are abolishing linear time, so I'm simultaneously grinding Final Fantasy VIII while remembering having ground Final Fantasy VIII. Grinded? Ground? I don't know what the past tense of grind would be in this context of the word grind. Which begs the question, do words have different tenses depending on the context of the word? I feel like that's a thing, but I can't remember a specific example off the top of my head. And not anymore with timing left. Very true. Somebody remind me, is there a channel point reward? Do I have a thing I can just look? Oh, okay, I can just look at my own. Look at this. I do not have one for it. Okay. I don't want to... Can I just edit? No, I can't. Okay. Never mind. Well, since I don't have one, I wonder if I can get there without ripping the cord out of the controller. I do have that box of terrible, terrible table topics I can grab one of. And then we can talk about whatever the terrible topic is. So, give me one moment. I'm just going to hold... Alright, I'm back. I had to move Chrononauts out of the way. So I have this box of table topics, it's called. And they're like the worst, most surface level questions that I've ever seen that are supposed to inspire discussion. And they're like geek focused, which is to say comic book movie, tabletop game, Harry Potter focused. So let's grab one and discuss it, shall we? I should really make this a channel point reward, but then I would have to possibly do it more often, and I don't want to do that. Here we go. Look at that. I'm watching myself lose viewers in real time. Have you memorized any quotes from fantasy books? What a stupid question. Can you remember a passage from a book that you have read? Or does your brain not work? Well, my brain doesn't work. So I guess that's a fair question, except no, that just makes it ableist in this case. Like, wouldn't it make more sense if this was, like, what is your favorite quote from a fantasy book? What quote from a fantasy book have you used in real life? I don't know. Something more personal than just, have you ever done this? Like, have you memorized? It's like the worst way to phrase that, too, because it's kind of demeaning. Maybe I'm just reading too much into this terrible question. So, I'm just going to rephrase it. What's your favorite quote from a fantasy novel? Somebody chime in with your favorite fantasy novel quote. This is where I find out that actually nobody remembers books that they've read, or has favorite lines from books that they've read. And it's like, oh, maybe it is a fair question after all. I'm trying to pull one up online, except I'm not able to find a direct quote of it, rather than have to go find my copy of Lord of the Rings and go to it. And I am failing at this task. And now I'm just going to go to my bookshelf and look for my copy of Lord of the Ring. And now I'm upset because my copy of Lord of the Ring is not on my bookshelf, which means that it's in a storage box somewhere, and I have no ready access to it. But yeah, it'd be from the voice of Saruman in the Two Towers, where he describes the power of the voice of Saruman and how it makes what he says sound wise and make you want to seem wise in comparison by quick and ready agreement. There's something like that. And I can't find the direct quote anywhere, so I am the fool now. And for whatever reason, I grabbed my copy of Asimov's Guide to Shakespeare, which was on my bookshelf. P.S. Isaac Asimov is probably my favorite author. Even if a lot of the fiction that he wrote I'm not a huge fan of, I'm a huge fan of his nonfiction works. His books and essays and whatnot. Like, I've got Asimov's Guide to Shakespeare, I've got a copy of Asimov's Guide to the Bible, which is another channel point reward if you want to hear some passage about the historicity of the Bible. You know, historical, geographical context to the names and locations and whatnot that are mentioned in the Bible. You know, because there are ways in which the Bible is a historical document. So yeah, it's really interesting to read that, especially in the context that, you know, Asimov was an atheist. So it's not about what is commonly discussed in the Bible. It's about stuff that is glossed over or not, or misunderstood or widely not misappropriated, misattributed. A lot of misconceptions about names and people and places in the Bible that just come from the kind of apocrypha that has built up around it. Oh, thank you for the gift sub, Sergeant Hammer. Congratulations to Book Thief. Book Thief, why weren't you subbed to me? No, I'm kidding. I know money is a thing that many of us don't have. So that is why we appreciate Sergeant Hammer for the gift sub. Thank you very much. So yeah, Table Topics. What is this called? Table Topics Geek Pop. It's terrible. It's terrible, and the thing that I read from it is entirely in lowercase with no punctuation because they did not want to bother with a question mark in their question. Do we want to do another table topic and see if we get a better one? Because maybe there's a good one in here. Or maybe it'll be even worse. Maybe it'll be about Harry Potter, and I'll have to tear the card up and throw it away, because who gives a fuck about Harry Potter? Especially in the year of our Lord 2022. Given what the author of Harry Potter has said and done with their life. Wait, this you capitalize. What? Okay, I pulled a card. It literally just reads kaiju or aliens. And it capitalized kaiju as if that's like a proper name. And like, what is this even asking? Which you prefer? Which you like better? Which is more real? Which you've seen more of? Which you'd rather were real? Which one you'd go to bed with first? Like, yeah, there's also the implicit idea that kaiju are not aliens. I don't know if they are. I'll be honest, I'm not that well versed in kaiju lore. Like, Godzilla was not an alien. He came from the sea. And radiation. He rose from the radiation of radioactive activity. And, you know, Mechagodzilla is a robot. And the origin of the rest, haven't a clue. Don't know where Ghidorah came from. Ghidorah? I don't know how to pronounce it. Or Mothra. Or the turtle one, whose name I don't remember. And I think there was a beetle, whose name I also don't remember. But it's a beetle. I would imagine that's another radiation of a thing that was already here. Watch that one be the alien. So yeah, maybe it's who would win in a fight, kaiju or aliens. I remember playing a tabletop card game that was, you know, in the heyday of Cards Against Humanity, there were many knockoffs, and this knockoff in particular was called Super Fight. And it was basically who would win in a fight, the game. Where you'd have cards with different characters and creatures and whatnot, and then you'd have like modifier cards, and you'd combine them into play. Like, you and one other player would play your little candidate of who's going into the fight, and then you get a random modifier to, like, make it wacky. Not to make it wacky, but to make it more random. And then everybody else would decide which one would win in a fight. And, you know, obviously you could petition for your own to be winning and explain why it's going to totally kick the ass of your opponents. But it's literally just who would win in a fight the game. And, like, it was... I thought it was a little more creative than Cards Against Humanity, but there were no references to big black dicks, so it didn't sell as well as Cards Against Humanity. But then nothing did. And then I can talk about how Cards Against Humanity is ultimately a shallow experience and fun for maybe 5 minutes. And it's really a thoughtless game because all you're doing is playing a card in response to a card, and there's no creativity, and it doesn't reward originality. And simultaneously, the only strategy that you could even call being present is just to cater to the judge's taste, which because you have a random assortment of cards, you can't even guarantee the ability to do. So yeah, not a fan. And once again, we had another stinker of a table topic of a question that's barely even a question, that is not comprehensible on its face, and creates a false dichotomy. And those are table topics, and that's why I don't have them as channel rewards. You know, channel point rewards. I would prefer to read about the historicity of Shakespeare or the historicity of the Bible. Have a good night, Book Thief. We gotta play more Warhammer sometime. Oh, I'm getting tired. I probably only have 10 more minutes in me before I have to go lie down. I gotta admit, my brain is not long for it. I think I'm gonna head back to close it out and get into one more half value fight, because that's how we do. We get the half value fights every time. You know what? I think we're good on the items. We're just gonna drop the save and call it good. Well, we got some progress, my goodness. Not nearly enough. So thank you again to Jay. Check out, what is it? Oh my goodness, I'm gonna butcher this. I'm just going to go to it. Twitch.tv/liquid_courage with a K. Trivia, fun times. Thank you, Sergeant Hammer, for the sub. And thank you, everybody, for watching. Until next time, take care.